and I actually cover tertiary services. So this is Sophie, she's actually the manager who actually looks after the patient transfers. I'd just like to thank everybody really for, you know, all the effort what's gone into putting the leaflet together, especially the Manx breast cancer group, you know, departmental. You know, I think it's something which will, you know, benefit patients. It's a really handy guide, you know, and I just think it's something which, you know, will help moving forwards. Do you want to add anything?
I just let my radio down slightly. Is it coming out of me? Oh no, it's not. It's coming through the street.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't quite know how you do that. Do you?
Just really what Tammy said, just to say a big thank you for making the leaflet up, that it's helpful when patients come in to know what kind of things we do, things to do with all their expenses and maybe queries that they've got, that it answers as opposed to having to pop in and see us. But no, I appreciate all that. Thank you very much for all your help.
Very good. I think this
If I could just say on behalf of the charity, for those who don't know me, I'm David Gorn, I'm the president of Manx Breast Cancer Support Group. The people who do the real work are standing over there and to my right here. But this has been another project, if you like, which has been developed jointly between the charity and the department, which has again been very successful. And I think all this started by some comments that were made regarding people with disabilities travelling on and off the island and the problems they were having, and when they were coming back there was a problem with taxis and getting out of the airport here and all sorts of things. And like everything else, once you start looking at it, it involves a lot of other things as well, and we came across people who were going across for cancer treatment and other treatments who were having similar problems. So the girls being the girls, they decided to get this and grasp it by the neck and get on with it. And that resulted obviously in talks at this end to get things improved, and also at talks with Liverpool Airport to get them to change their systems, and quiet rooms were created at both airports, which are now in operation and making a big difference to people. Because if you've been away for treatment and you're sitting in the airport, you don't always want to be surrounded by people. If you've got to have an injection or something, then obviously, you know, these personal things are best done in private. And certainly the cooperation from both the Department of Infrastructure at the airport, from Anne Reynolds, and from the folks in Liverpool has been tremendous. It was then decided that obviously these facilities are there, so the girls started looking then at the information that was available, and it was, if you like, quite sparse, and it was an A4 sheet folded, which wasn't really very, shall we say, sustainable. Once you put it in your pocket, it sort of broke up. So the girls then decided to have a look at that, and the outcome was this leaflet, which has, how long has that been put together, Julie?
It's about 10 months.
About 10 months, because there's been, you know, there's been various things that had to be done. There were things that came apparent during the process. There were changes that had to be made. Tracy then got hold of it and worked her design magic on it. And,
it is brilliant.
And eventually...
we've had so many people asking recently if we've had these, and obviously we haven't had them, especially since the move.
And in the same way as some other literature, the charity then said, well, okay, can we take responsibility for this? And that's what's happened. This is only a short-term supply, because there are going to be changes later on in the year, but the girls are committed to keep it moving. In the same way, the facilities at Liverpool and at Ronaldsway will be changing. The girls have identified some sponsorship from an organisation in Liverpool to help at that end. We've got a commitment from the DTI here, sorry, the Department of Infrastructure here, that when they develop the airside lounge next year, that will include a quiet room as well. So there'll be 2 quiet rooms, one on the land side and one on the air side. So that will be a big improvement for people travelling to and from the island. So we welcome the opportunity of working with the department, and I think it's another example of how the third sector and government can work extremely well together to produce something. And again, I think, you know, the thing is, we put the icing on the cake. You had a brochure which was acceptable, but we produced something which was perhaps a little bit more patient friendly. Yeah. And that's what it's all about, working together to create a better patient experience. So thank you, and I know if you've got any queries or anything, Julie will be pleased to hear from anybody who's got any queries, so we can update it and correct it as required. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Could I also just thank Claire Bettison, MHK, who's a member of the department, for coming along. Did you want to say a few words as well?
Yeah, I'll take an opportunity to just say a few words. Obviously, first to thank both the Manx Breast Cancer Support Group for their work in this, and for patient transfer, and our tertiary care providers. I mean, I think it's been a real, as David said, an example of how we can really work together to make the best for the patient experience. And I think that's absolutely critical in this. I think we've got a group of people, a small team in patient transfer who work, absolutely, flat out all year, liaising with our tertiary centres, arranging appointments and running the logistical side of things, and getting the detail and really getting the feedback from patients is something that actually charities like Manx Breast Cancer Support Group are really ideally placed to do, and to make sure that just the information that's needed is there, accessible and available to patients when they most need it, when they are stressed because of what they're going through, and having that to hand in an easy and accessible leaflet I think is absolutely key. So I think it's an excellent initiative. I'm really delighted to be here to be able to support it, and many thanks to all of the people who've been involved to make this possible. Thank you.
More music for the Isle of Man.
3FM.